do an extra video for this week. It's called the Leap Year Book Tag. Since today is the Leap Day, I thought doing this tag in this day would be meaningful. Since I was tagged by Rainey Day Reads, thank you Rainey for tagging me. This tag was originally created by Hilary from Melted Books and Amy Myers. It looks like a fun tag, so let's get on with the questions. The first question is an extra day. What is one book that brought you a little something extra? I'm going to say 11/22/93 for this question, by Stephen King. This was the first Stephen King book that I've read. And when I read the synopsis, I was expecting the action, the science fiction element, and the suspense that it brings. But I never thought that I would find a very sweet and touching love story in this book. With that touching love story, 11/22/63 is the one book that brought something extra. Second question is taking a big leap. What is one book that you are or were afraid to read? I'm going to say the first book in the Robin Hood series. Many of my good friends, whom I trust their taste, have read the first book and really loved the writing style of Robin Hood and how the world building is very detailed and complex. I really want to start that series, but this series has so many books. I don't know. I'm really afraid to start with the first book because as of 2020, I made a goal of reading series back to back, one book a month, and starting such a long series really scares me. But I'm going to start the series one day eventually. So Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hood is the book that I'm still afraid to read. Every 4 years. What is the fourth book you read this year? I read a middle grade science fiction book, Mavi Yıldız by Dilge Güney. The author is also a good friend of mine. This was such a sweet middle grade book. I wish it had been translated to English so that you could all read it, because the story and the world building is actually fairly complex for a middle grade book, which I liked very much. And her descriptions are, I think, wonderful. And the general lesson that we take from this book is also wonderful. So, Mavi Yıldız by Dilge Güney was the fourth book that I read, and I gave it 8 out of 10. Third question is 366 days in the year. Looking at your third shelf, name the sixth book on that shelf and name the sixth book after that. I counted the book just before making this video. And when I picked up the sixth book, I thought to myself, and now my friends will say that Berna is still talking about that book. It was Persuasion by Jane Austen. It's definitely on my top 5 favorite books. And this is my favorite Jane Austen book by far. I have the biggest crush on Captain Wentworth in this book. The sixth book after Persuasion was Defterdar by İlhan Duruser. I read this book for book club in January of 2019. This was my first book club book that we read together. This book is written by my high school literature teacher, Turkish literature teacher. İlhan Duruser lives in USA now, and but he still publishes short story collections like this one. This book was not easy to read for me. The writing style and the concepts were a bit hard to understand, but I really liked the short stories that I understood. I understood half of the stories and I really enjoyed them, and I wish I had understood the other half. So that's why I gave it only 3 stars. Question 5. Leaping ahead. Name 4 books that you want to read by the next leap year. There's an alternative to that answer. Name something on your bookish bucket list that you want to complete by the next leap year. I'm going to choose 2 books that I am definitely going to read this year, so that I would have a success of at least 50%. First of all, I'm going to choose Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. We will buddy read this book with Naomi's bookshelves, and we decided on the month of May for that buddy read. I cannot wait to buddy read this book with Naomi. The second book that I am definitely going to read is The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. This book is the first book in a historical romance series, and I think it is being adapted to TV series. But I wanted to read this series for such a long time before I even knew that there would be an adaptation. But I wanted to finish the historical romance series that I'm in the middle of first. And lately I finished another historical romance series. I will definitely read The Duke and I by Julia Quinn this year. The other two books are the biggest books on my TBR. First one is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I've actually read the second book first in the series, but I have watched the TV adaptation of The Pillars of the Earth, and I really enjoyed that adaptation. But the book is so long, since I'm focusing on finishing the series in this year, I might not read this book this year, but I will definitely read The Pillars of the Earth because I really enjoyed the second book in the series. And the last book that I'm going to talk about is Anna Karenina by Lev Tolstoy. I previously said that finishing War and Peace was very hard for me. I actually skim-read some of the chapters just to finish the book. Because I felt like there were so many unnecessary details in the book. But the general plot was engaging, so I decided to finish it and see what would happen to the characters in the book. I decided to read Anna Karenina in Turkish. And I might try an audiobook because listening to classics in audiobooks has really helped me in last year. And I might try that, and I actually know the story because I have seen the movie adaptation of the book. So I think it will be a bit easier to read than War and Peace. Question is Leapfrog. Name a book in your TBR that has green on it. So I'm going to be clever and choose Yeşil by İnci Aral. This book is the second book in Yeni Yanan Zamanlar series by İnci Aral, and it's one of the series that I want to finish this year. The reason I'm calling myself clever for this answer is that because Yeşil means green in Turkish. So I scored 2 points for that answer. Question 7. Bad luck. What bookish things do you steer clear from? I steer clear from books written in verse because I have hard time concentrating on that style of writing. And I also do not like poetry, as I've said before. I've tried some, but really could not understand it because I guess I care so much about the word sentence structure. I have a hard time understanding the things written in verse. So I try to steer clear away from those books. Question 8 is tag 4 people. I know February will be finished today. I wanted to tag 4 people anyway so that I could talk about them because 3 of them are the channels that I recently discovered, and I want to give a shout out to them. And if they do this tag, I will be very pleased. But I will understand if they found it out of date. So I'm going to tag 2 Fond of Books, which is a brand new booktuber. I saw her March Mystery Madness TBR, and I connected with her so much because I also love mysteries. And her top 5 books were almost the same as mine, and she's wonderful, and she does extensive reviews, which I admire because I cannot do that. It's hard for me to do it in my second language. And I'm going to tag Laura Reads Pages. She's a booktuber who lives in Korea, and she recently did a video about books that were written in Korean. And I really enjoyed her video on that and started following her then. She's also very articulate in her reviews, so I think you should check her out as well. And I'm going to tag Book Whimsy. She's not a new booktuber, but I have recently discovered her. I really liked her channel content. She's also very sweet. You should check her out as well. And lastly, I'm going to tag Sarah Hannett. Sarah started her booktube channel, I think 3 months before I started my channel. And we sort of connected a lot with comments. She reads a lot more science fiction and fantasy than me. I really like how she describes those books with so many passion. Please comment down below what was the 4th book that you read this year. Have you read the 4 books that I've chosen that I want to read in the next 4 years? And what did you think about them? And if you're a new viewer, please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye! Since the name of the tag is Leap Year Book Tag, I thought leap should be the word of the day. Leap means sıçramak in Turkish, and sıçramak is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day!